Hello Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Okay. I really like the Spirit Animal. I'm really enjoying it. I think I keep telling people that because I really didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I am. I mean, I knew the cards were attractive, but I didn't know I was going to connect with them as easily as I am. What do we got? Okay, so you got a big open spot here. I wonder what we're going to be doing with that. But as always, let's start at the beginning. You got interesting information. You got playful information. You got playful energy with this is starting off. It's coming in with a lot of playful energy. You got dolphin with otter. These are very playful creatures in my opinion. But in both of them also speak of a lot of love, a lot of caring. It doesn't have to be romantic, but like you're having fun, but you're really emotionally connected with the people you're having fun with. Like these people you like to be around, or person, whatever you're doing. It could be, for some of you, it's like a child that you just love being around this child. They're not perfect, but you know, the time you spend with this child, you love being around this child. Not for everybody, I get it. Some of you, this is romantic, whatever it is, but the otter with the dolphin, I'm getting a lot of love, a lot of playfulness. This and that are true, or what the dolphin says. You are never alone. I feel like when I'm reading that, you never alone, this is somebody that you're really impressing that upon them. Like if they ever need anything, you'll always be there for them. You care about them to that degree. Very, very, very fun energy. Also, what's actually happening here with whoever you're dealing with, whatever you're dealing with, you got the squirrel energy, which is all over the place in my opinion. It says, believe in yourself. I also feel like you might be instilling that in somebody. Like you might be promoting, like showing them their worth, showing them the good that they do, helping them see that, you know, hey, you're doing really good with this. You might be a little too hard on yourself about it. If you want to improve, here's some directions, here's some ways, here's some things to search out. You're showing them the value they already have, but you also might be giving them pointers. Hey, you want to improve with painting? I don't know much about that, but here's where you could go. Here's some classes you could take to see where you want to take that. You don't have to go crazy, but you can go here, you can go there, and then you can see if you want to build from that. And you're like showing this person like, hey, you want to do that? You're pretty good at that to begin with, and here you can go a little farther with it. I'm getting that with the squirrel energy. Like things are all over the place, but I feel like you might be telling this person, hey, it's not that bad. We just got to hone it in a bit, and here's some direction for you to take that so you can even take it farther and be happier. Very heartfelt here. Very, very, very heartfelt here. This is not like a casual business connection or anything like that. Like it could be a coworker, but if it is, it's somebody who really touches your heart. It's not somebody you just happen to work with. You know what I mean? So you give this person that assistance. You show them how much you value them, whoever they are. The rabbit spirit. It says now was a lucky time. Rabbit. I always think of speed, not for nothing, or I think of multiplication or things growing exponentially, one of the two. That's what I usually think of. But lucky is good. You can be lucky with rabbit. That's totally fine. No problem with that. I feel like what's happening here, though, I feel like speed, and I feel like trying to make things happen. I feel like somebody taking your advice, but then kind of riding off the rails with it. I feel like you've given somebody direction. You're like, here's the rails. Put your train on this track that I've put in front of you. Ride this track all the way into that next city and you'll get your opportunity. That's kind of what you said. Ride this track into that city. Go this way. And they just kind of like, they go off the rails. I literally feel like they go off the rails. They start following your advice and then they just kind of go off where they want to go. And I'm getting like, you're trying to direct this person. You're kind of like, listen. You want that outcome? Listen, get back on the track. Get back on the track. Yeah, you can. You can totally have that outcome, but I don't know where you're going. If you go over there, if you're going off the rails, I don't know where you're going to end up. I don't know what's going to happen. So I can't say you're going to have success. You go over there. You get back on the rails, you'll have that success you want. Get back on the rails, and then you can have what you want. They got the skunk spirit. Skunk to me sometimes says, like, you know, skunk's going to do what skunk wants to do a little bit. There's a little bit of that there, but it's kind of like, it's hard to tell a skunk, it's hard to corral a skunk, because they turn around on you and they spray. That's not going to be fun, and you don't want that. So I feel like there's only so much direction you can give this person before they turn it back on you. And I feel like you don't want that, so be aware of the skunk energy. The skunk energy has that, you know, that defense of the smell. So guide from a distance. Guide from a distance. That's what I'm getting with this one. Like, if you're seeing somebody's going off the rails and you want them to get back on the rails so they get that, maybe send them a text message or send them an email, or just, you know, try to give them the helpful nudge back to getting back in plan, back in course, back in line with where they want to be. But stay at a distance is what I'm getting from this, because I feel like with the skunk spirit, like, they could turn on you quite easily. Be careful of it. If they decide they want what they want, you also might want to reiterate that. Like, this is the direction I gave you. If you want to do what you want, that's fine. I just can't guarantee, you know, I don't know what you're going to end up with. So I would like to see you have success. That's where I suggest you go back on the rails. But if you're going to decide what you want to do, that's on you. There's only so much you can do with this energy. So hold back a little bit. Put out your 2 cents from a distance. Be careful. Use the kid gloves here. Just because I feel like if you don't, it's just going to backlash on you. You don't deserve that, nor do you want that. Watch and wait with the 9 of Cups. Give this person some space to screw up things. Let them go off the rails a bit. They're going to get stuck in the mud here and there. At some point, they shouldn't deviate so far away from the path that they can't come back to it, but they're going to get stuck in the mud. Allow them to do what they need to do. Give it some time. I do feel watch and wait with the seahorse makes sense with this, but the 9 of Cups pairing in with it is telling me they'll figure it out. They'll realize, you know, back on the track, and they'll get what they need to get. Back on the track, and they'll be able to go where you told them they could go. Give them some time. They'll figure it out is what I'm getting. Just give them some time to figure it out. It's another reason why the skunk energy is here, kind of like, instead of having another problem to deal with, like if they snap at you or they say something nasty to you, because I'm kind of feeling that, if you just hold back, that doesn't really happen, and then that's one less thing they have to correct to get back on the track. You don't need that, nor do you want that. Anyway, so they will come back to it. I'm getting, when they do finally return to the track, this is your moment to kind of give them one last nudge, kind of like, you know, hey, that's great. I'm glad you're back on path. That's perfect, because I really see this success there for you. You get back on this track, the success is down there on the line. Just keep on this path. Just keep on this path, and you'll get to that success. It'll be good. I just bit my tongue. That's awesome. You got Crow Spirit. I like Crow Spirit a lot, which is co-create with Spirit. 3 of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. It's kind of like you're giving them this gift. You're like, here's your Ace of Swords. Take that, and you can get down that path. Here's your 3 of Pentacles. You're going to need to keep working on that. Use these 2 together, and you can get what you want. And the Crow Spirit is like you're keeping a helpful eye on it, but the Crow Spirit also kind of flies away when it needs to. It comes back, it checks on things, and it just lets them be. It kind of like flies away. There's a very community effort here with the Crow, but the Crow can work in a pack, or work in a murder, or work on its own. I feel like this is like a overseeing, like trying to guide, but just kind of stay away when it's not necessary. Because I feel like you're handing them these tools, but I feel like the Crow is saying, all right, you did your best. Now, for now, just let them be. Just let it step away from it. Completely disconnect. As in, just, you know, whatever they do with it, you know, here, you gave them everything. You told them everything, to just pull away from it for a while. Literally just step back as much as you can. While you're away, this person needs to own... They need to own this completely, because it is going to take some work for them to have this success, and they're going to decide they want more. They're going to decide they want more out of the situation, so they're going to intensify this situation, and they're going to get very dominant with it. They're going to be very domineering to themselves, very like this is holding on to something very tightly. They're not going to let go of it. They're going to move forward. They're going to make it a lot heavier on themselves than they need to. step back, let them do. Because when they get that way, I'm also getting the snake spirit is like they might get really defensive again. There might be a bit of a bite to that. They might get very protective of the situation, which is another reason crow spirit is like saying, let them do. They got to live their life. They got to do it their way. That's fine. You don't need any of the backlash for it. You helped. You did a good job. Pull back for now. Let them figure it out. They got to figure out their own path. You did everything you could at this point. And they might get a little venomous. It says time to heal. I don't know. When I'm feeling snake does have the ability to change. They shed their skin. Yep, that's true. I get that. But when I'm feeling snake in this card, it's kind of like the lion with the snake especially. That's a fighting energy. They're fighting to make it what they want it to be. They're determined to make it what they want it to be. They're not going to back off. They could be a little bit difficult to deal with for a while. Let them sort their own path out. You did everything you could. When they return to this situation, because at some point there seems to be a return to it, they're going to overdo it. But they're going to overdo it, but they will have made a notable amount of progress. So they will have, improved significantly, Yet they're going to burn themselves out. They will burn themselves out, but this is not the end of the road for them. After they burn themselves out and they just feel like they can't do this anymore, they're very unhappy because they went over above and beyond. I feel like you can't stop this. They have to make their own decisions. It's one of those life lessons where they have to decide for themselves what's too much. They're not going to listen to you during this time. They're going to decide they want to do it the way they want to do it. After they've done this and you come back around, they're going to be wiped out is what I'm getting. Very, I want to say dissatisfied because they didn't hit the goal they wanted to hit, yet they've made some significant improvements. This is your moment, again, to come in to shine. You got the cat spirit with the scarab beetle with the Eight of Pentacles. You're going to highlight to them all the good work they've done and all the improvement they've made. You're also going to tell them, if you need a break, you need a break. But if you return to this, just learn from your mistake and do it slower. Give yourself more time. This is your time to come back. This person, I feel like they can be difficult. And once they're wiped out and they've fallen on their face and they learned their lesson that they went way too overboard, this is your point to say, oh, but you've done so well. You know what? You didn't hit the goal you wanted to, but you improved dramatically. This is your point to promote that for them. The scarab is telling me kind of like, isn't that the beetle? I'm thinking of the dung beetle, but the scarab beetle says the magic works through you. This is your point to show them. This is your time to shine, kind of like to show them like everything they did was well worthwhile and they don't have to give up. Maybe they need a break and that's okay, but they've made a very good point here to themselves that they need to be a little bit more on point. Maybe they should listen to other people's advice when they say, take this path and maybe go a reasonable speed, a slower speed so they can absorb it and enjoy it. Everything doesn't have to be done in 5 seconds because you're going to help them get back on point. The Eight of Pentacles is telling me this is not over. The situation is not done. They might need a timeout or a break. But for example, if it's schooling, say this is a college situation, and they did one of those things where they took enough classes for a semester and a half in one semester. I don't remember how many credits. It's been a long time since I've been in college, quite frankly. But instead of taking X amount of credits per semester, they put X times 2 or X plus a half. You know what I mean? They took more than they needed to. And you're like, all right, you need a break? Take a semester off. Take 1 semester off. But when the next semester comes in, go back to do a normal semester's work. Or maybe do 3/4 of what a normal person would do in a semester. Do that. Just don't stop. And I feel like this is your time to shine and get them back on path and show them, hey, you're not done. You need a break? Take that semester. But let's get back on path. Let's do it in a way that you don't have to feel like you're burning a candle at both ends. Let's do that. This is your moment to help them. I feel like the whole point of this reading really is to bide your time, and when the moment comes where you should step out, step out so you don't need to get the backlash. Realize this person has to do it their way. So give your advice, show them what you think they should do, then back off and just do for yourself and for them. When they calm down and they're kind of hitting a moment where they need some more direction and they're kind of asking for it, they're looking for it, go back in, do what you got to do. Once you've done that, back off, let them do what they got to do. Let them do it their way. That's how they're going to learn. I feel like it's school of hard knocks, but I feel like that's what works best for this person. You're very much helping. I just feel like they're saying don't drag yourself through the mud, because if you constantly are involved, they're going to get very agitated and you're going to get a lot of backlash that you don't want nor need. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.